my speaker's messed up in my phone. I think water got into it, so I have to use this when I have the camera facing me. But if it's facing the opposite direction, there's no issue. But I want to talk about active shooters, man. Like, I've been watching a lot of, the training videos, and I've been watching, you know, the massacres that actually really happened. And one that was weird to me was the movie theater one back in 2012. The fact that this man walked out the exit door and used something to keep the door propped open for him to get back in was a huge red flag for me. Um, if you need to take a phone call or you need to go to your car, people, or even meet up with a friend, people usually just come in the door they came in to get into the auditorium, that leads into the hallway, or if they got to go to the bathroom. Nobody ever uses the exit door unless if they're actually leaving right after the movie. And if he has a ticket, he could easily got back in through the front door, you know, and that probably could have prevented some of the massacre, but don't chew me out for it. I'm just being honest. You know what I'm saying? If somebody would have kicked that door proper out of the way and made the door shut, that guy would have never been able to come back in the auditorium and shoot it up. So, same thing with the Columbine thing. Like, was that propane tank that you see right here in the photo, was that there during the massacre or before? Because if it was there before, everybody in that cafeteria is blind and needs to get glasses. But if they put it there when they came in the building, different story. But it's weird, like a propane tank is huge. It doesn't really have a lot of weight to it, but I mean, it's loud. I got one in the building right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. It just seems weird to me how it ended up in the middle of the floor. I thought that was weird. I think I'm mainly going to focus on like school shooters in this video. Okay, so school shooting has been occurring a lot over the years, and it's crazy. What a lot of people don't understand is you got to think differently when it comes to a school shooter because 9 times out of 10, that person either went to school there or they currently are going to school there. So when you're dealing with that, it's a whole different ball game. You can't just lock the door, turn out the lights, and pretend you're not home. It's not going to work. Those kids were there when that was happening. So you got to come up with a plan B. Number one, don't be running down the hallway like a psychotic maniac. You're going to run into the shooter. Make sure you're listening to where the gunshots are coming because you don't want to just run out of the room and run right into the shooter. But also, when all these kids are running, let them run. It gives you time and some protection, which I know kind of sounds really messed up, to figure out where it's coming from. I'm not saying stay in one spot and just listen and wait for that shooter to come around the corner. No. When you're coming out of the classroom, if you hear it think it's coming from that direction, go the opposite direction, but take your time. Speed walk, but don't like run super fast. And be careful too, because you don't want to run into another shooter. Because sometimes, like STEM, prime example, I want to say that was the school. I could be wrong. It could have been Columbine, one of the two. But the guy said all the people were running to that one door, so he broke off to the left to try to go down an empty hallway, and he ran into the second shooter, and the second shooter shot at him. But then he made it like a run for it, and luckily he didn't get shot. So I want to say that was STEM, but I could be wrong. Um, yeah, but that's why I tell you guys watch where you're running because you don't know exactly how many shooters there are. So that's why I say pay attention. Number two, make sure that you're putting everything in front of the door. Not everything, but the heaviest stuff. And make sure you can find something that's tall enough but short enough to put under the handle. Because the handle won't be able to move if there's something underneath it. But if you just put heavy stuff in it, he could probably hold down the handle from the outside and just push with his shoulder, keep pushing, and then probably could be able to put his barrel through and start shooting, especially if you guys are diagonal from him. He'll be able to shoot. But if you put heavy stuff in front of the door and then something underneath the handle to keep the handle from moving, he won't be able to get the door open, not one bit. And then make sure you cover the hole too so they can't see where you guys are at. And then stay away from the windows too. But as everybody's putting stuff in front of the door, have some classmates start flipping the desk on their side and just start dragging them. So what you need to do is have the part where you write, flip that over and drag it towards you guys and stay in the corner, because that is what you need to do. I mean, it's a layer of protection. You got the stuff in front of the door, but just for your extra protection, have distance in between you and him, or you and her, whoever the shooter is. Um, Flip the desk over on the side and just get into a corner. Don't be in the corner diagonal from the door. Be on this side, so yeah, they can't really see. And just have the desk flipped over, then everybody lay on their stomachs. All right, lay on your stomachs, and that's all I could say, man. That's all I could say, and just wait until he gets pissed off, because he's eventually going to run out of bullets. If he just keeps shooting through the door, it's just going to hit the stuff that's in front of the door. You know what I'm saying? And it'd be a slim chance of you getting killed. So, eventually he's going to move on to the next room. I wouldn't move. I would not move until SWAT team got there and came into the room. Don't do anything to let anybody in. I don't care if it's the SWAT team. You let them break through the ceiling. Don't open that door. Don't get near the door. You lay there until the SWAT team get in there, or the police, or whoever comes and saves y'all. Make sure. Don't let them in. I don't care if they're like, it's police. Well, you better find your way in, police, because I'm not letting you in this door. Number 3, bathrooms are the worst place to be. Do not be in a bathroom. Don't get caught in the hallway, and do not get caught um, being in like a very, very, very tiny room, like a janitor's closet. Don't do that. That's the worst places to be, and that's how you get caught. You know, especially like even if they shoot and you're in the hallway and you put your back against the wall and they're shooting, the bullets are going by you, and you take off, run into another hallway. Eventually, you're going to run out of hallways, and or it's going to be one long hallway, and he's going to be able to get you from a far distance. So make sure you stay away from big areas that they could have the advantage of, like gymnasium or the auditorium where you graduate at, um, the bathroom where they could easily corner you, or a janitor's closet. Worst places. Do not do that. Or a courtyard. Don't. Or the parking lot. No. Those are bad areas. That's where they had the advantage, and that's where you have the disadvantage. Number 4, don't be a hero. Unless if he's in your classroom, and he has the gun, and y'all have no other options, and you have to put your life on the line, by all means, go ahead. But don't be that guy that, you're nowhere near the shooting and you're like running down the hallway, like, I'm going to take this guy head on. No, don't be a hero. You're not Superman. The bullets are not going to reflect off your eyeball. They're not going to just bounce off. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to be able to move out of the way like it's the Matrix. It's not going to work. Just stay away. If he is in your room and you have no more options, by all means, go for it. But if he's in another part of the school, don't run 5, 6 minutes from your side of the school to him to try to take him on, just so you can get some clout and get some recognition and be on the news and be called a hero. It's not worth it. Don't do it. What's going to end up happening is it's going to backfire, and it's going to cost you a lot. It's going to cost you not only your life, but other people's lives as well. Number 5, save yourself. Look, I understand you got friends, you got siblings, but you got to worry about your safety first. Not everybody that your life is just important as theirs. I know your sister's in room 213. I know that your brother's in 107. Holy shit, my cousin's in the lunchroom and the shooter's near that. Like, I understand, man. But you gotta save yourself. And people are gonna die in mass shootings. It just happens. And it's the worst feeling ever. But try to make that not you, if you can. If you're unfortunate to be in front of the shooter, don't know what to tell you. Don't back down. You fight. Even if you're running towards him and he shoots you dead, at least you tried. Number 6, and the final one, just be kind to people, man. I know that we try to fit into different social groups. We try to figure out who we are. We're going through puberty. We want attention and validation from others. We want friends. We want people to look up to us. Stuff like that, right? We care what other people think. But none of that matters once you get out of high school, man. Believe me. You won't run into your bullies like that. You probably will barely even get bullied at all. You know, you're not going to be in love with the girl that you were in love with in high school. You're not going to be with the same friends you were with in high school unless if y'all are actually real good people and y'all bond together. Most of my friends didn't even go to school with me. They went to other schools. So, I mean, it is what it is. But just be nice to people, man. I'm not saying that you have to be cool with everybody. I mean, we all have different people. I mean, we all have that Greg Heffley and what's that kid? Frederick, the kid that always picks his nose and stuff. I mean, we're always going to have weird kids. But believe me, they're going to be different as adults. People change. They might be weird as kids, but they're a lot different when they're adults. Believe me. You'll see the change once you get out of high school. You'll see. I used to have acne really bad. Now I don't even have acne anymore. I mean, my face is scarred up. But just be nice to everybody, because not every school shooter wakes up one morning and goes, all right, let's go bust up my school today. That's just not how it is. They're hurt. They might be dealing with the breakup, might be dealing with bullying. They might be dealing with a broken home. They might be dealing with, a lot of different things, and it builds up over time. And then they snap. Especially being a young man, you know what I'm saying? It's hard to hold back your aggression, your feelings and stuff. But from somebody who's been in those shoes, I made the decision to not do it. As much as my anger and frustration and the hatred that I was feeling towards the people in my school, I never did it. You have that split moment, everybody does. Am I going to go through with this, or should I not go through with this? I decided not to go through with it. You should too. These school shooters that you guys look up to, they're never going to have a life. They're never going to have a wife. They're never going to have kids. They're never going to have friends. They're never going to be able to own a car, own a house, do any of that. Their whole life has just been thrown away. That's somebody you don't want to look up to. Yeah, their name will always be in the news when it talk about that particular situation, or they'll be on, scarred into the whatever, right? The internet. They're not celebrities. They're not good people. They're not somebody you need to look up to. You know what I'm saying? Stop admiring school shooters. They're not cool. They're not good people. Girls, you need to stop saying, oh, I'm in love with this guy. He's this, that, and the third. I would love to be there when he did. No. No. These are not people you want to look up to, man. There's nothing glamorous or cute or amazing about being a school shooter. There's nothing about it that's cute at all. Just be yourself. Believe me. People will like you for who you are. The same people that didn't really fuck with me in high school, they're on my social media. They look at my stories. Sometimes they like my photos. Sometimes they'll speak to me. High school isn't the best years. After high school is. Believe me. Well, I love you guys. Y'all stay safe, and hopefully I'll come back with another video tomorrow talking about more active shootings and how to prepare yourself as best as you can. You never know when it's going to happen, but at least you could somewhat prepare for it as best as you can. I love you guys. Y'all stay safe, and look, school's not the place to go shooting. Stop. Get your life together, man. There's better things out there that you could do with your time than hurting people at your school. Don't ruin everybody else's lives just because you're upset with yours. Just saying. Believe me, it'll get better. I love you guys. Y'all stay safe, and I'll catch you in the next one.